Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Adamant Algorithm. This is Surain. In today's video we are going to see how to create a parallax scrolling background. So what are parallax scrolling background? It's nothing but an illusion that we create in order to bring the sense of the distance between the design elements in the background. For example, when we are actually walking down the road, you should have seen the moon in the night or sun in the morning that actually seldom moves. In other ways, people used to say, hey, you know what, moon follows me, because it's so away from us that it rather still, okay, it would never move with us. And the things that are very near to us when we are moving, for example, when you are actually traveling in a bus or a train, you should have noticed that the things by the side of the road goes past behind you, and it goes past you very fast according to the speed of your bus. So the creation of this illusion in a 2D design is what we called parallax effect. Okay, so to explain it pretty easily, let me just quickly play this game. And I don't have much, I just have a little input management to the car that actually moves back and forth. But as far as this exercise is concerned, take a look at the background. The things that are actually very near to the car moves according to the speed of the car, but the middle ground and the farther ground and the ground, the backdrop where the clouds and mountains are almost not moving as fast as the things are at the front. So this effect is called parallax effect, and in this video we're gonna see in detail how to create a parallax scrolling background with Unity. And this is not just a game concept, this is normally followed in most of the 2D animation, especially in cartoons, even in movies. I have one from the Peppa Pig. Okay, this may look funny, but as you can see right there, okay, so they have actually created a very nice parallax effect, which is very convincing to see. Okay, so the slower the background moves, the farther away from us. So that's the feeling that we're gonna get. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me quickly clear up the screen, whatever I do have in my project, so we both can able to start from the start. So I'm gonna back in a jiffy. Okay, here we are back again. Now my project is nice and clean. We can start now. Well, I don't have anything else except the car movement script attached to the car. Now you can see there is no parallax effect whatsoever. Okay, so this is what we are going to create. Now all the elements, whether it is middle ground or foreground, moves with the car, which is not very convincing to see. So before we start, I'm gonna quickly tell you guys what we are going to do now, so it will be easy for you guys to understand. Now we have only one camera, right? So in that we actually have all the elements, like there are nearby trees, and there is a foreground, and this is the foreground, and the middle ground we have a few trees. Under the far we have mountains. Okay, so this is what our camera looks at, because we have only one camera, which is the main camera. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to take this setup and we are actually going to create into this kind of setup where we're gonna have three different cameras. So one will be the near camera that will actually look at only the near items. This is camera 1. So we are going to have in another camera, it's in the same place, but it's going to look at the other things that are at the background. I mean, we're gonna call it the middle ground. This is camera 2. Okay, and we are going to have, you got the idea by now. The third camera is exactly in the same position, but this camera's duty is to render only the things that are on the far. So when these three cameras works together and render the things that are assigned to them together, it actually looks, you know, like this. All together it looks like this. But one difference is this camera is gonna have a default size of 5, and this camera is going to have a size of 10 or more, and this camera is going to have a size of 15 or less. So my idea is by default the main camera comes with the size 5, so increased size means the camera can able to see much. Okay, this is not so much and this is very little. So what happens is, since the camera is very big with the size of 15, this camera seldom moves, meaning it moves very slowly because it's already can able to see the things because it's huge. And this camera is middle sized, it's medium sized, so it will move faster than this guy. Okay, and since this is the smallest camera, this will move according to the speed of the things that are moving. I mean, I'm gonna just attach this camera, all this camera, to the moving object, which is our car. Okay, so hope this is kind of clear to you guys. If it is still confusing, don't worry about it. We're gonna actually look at things in Unity now. Now I need to explain what I have done so far. In my scene, as you can see, I have my, the Parallax ready backgrounds. By the way, I got it from craftpix.net. It's actually free, guys. They do have a lot of better amazing 2D parallax effect backgrounds. So the parallax ready backgrounds comes to you like these kind of different layers. So what I did is I named them properly. As you can see, 1 is near to me, 2 is middle ground, like 3, it's a lot of layers. But I don't want to keep all of them with a different layer. So what I did is I have created an empty game object and I called it for background, and I have 5, 6, which is mountain, and 7 is the sky. Okay, so these 3 I have put it under for BG. And if you think what these are nothing but I have actually duplicated them. See, this is one set. Okay, this is original set 5, 6, 7, and these are duplicates to extend on either side of it. Okay, you got it right. So I did the same thing, middle ground. I took the background 3 and 4 and I made these like this, for example, these guys. So I'm gonna call this as middle background. And of course the last one is the near BG, which is these guys. So hope this is easy to understand. Now the first thing we need to do is we have a car which is having this car script attached, which moves the character left and right from my keyboard input. So I want my camera to follow the car. So what I did is my camera was like this. So when I play the game, you guys got the idea, right? So now my car moves. I don't want that. I want the camera to focus on move along with the car. So I just put it as a child of my car. So now my main camera follows that. Everything is okay, but we need to create the parallax effect now. So how to do that is, the idea is, first of all, we are going to go for the layers, edit layers. We are going to create 3 different layers, okay, for 3 different level of elements. For example, near BG, and we're gonna call mid BG, whatever name you want to call, and for BG. So we have 3 backgrounds, same like here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click near BG. I know all these are attached to this, so I'm gonna select the parent. Select the parent, go to the layer, and I'm gonna say assigned near BG to it. And it asks whether I am sure that I'm going to apply the same for all the children. I say yes. So now if you press, if you click this, all of these children are in the layer near BG. Okay, and middle BG, select mid BG layer, yes, and far BG layer, and yes, change children as well. Now everything is set. So last thing we need to do is we are going to duplicate our main camera. Okay, and before that, our main camera, let's say red color is our main camera. I want the main camera to look at only these guys, not the other things. So how to control that? Now it's going to be simple because we have our layers ready. So I'm going to click my main camera. The default is skybox. Okay, so I'm going to select the clear flags, don't clear. Okay, and I'm going to say nothing. For now, I'm asking the camera to see nothing, but nothing but my near BG. So now what happens now is, if you see, the camera is actually looking at only the near BG. You might think, oh, what is this artifact? No problem, there is since there is no background renders or there is no element in the background, the camera doesn't know what to render at the background. Okay, and that's why it's actually smudging it left and right. So don't worry about it now. The thing which we are going to adjust in the later stage is the size of the camera. As you can see, the default camera has 5. Okay, I'm not going to touch this because this is going to be my near camera. Now the next step is we are going to duplicate this camera and quickly rename it to avoid confusion. We're gonna say this as mid camera, which is going to see only the middle background. Okay, now the size is going to be one thing, and from this camera you have to concentrate on the thing called depth. Okay, so how the depth works is, let's say if you have 3 cameras in your scene. Okay, so every camera will have a depth value. So what is a depth value is, the more positive number it has, that will be rendered on the top. For example, if this camera by default, our main camera is having the depth of 0, which means it will render first. Okay, if this camera has a number 1, this will be rendered on top of this camera. Okay, and if this is -1, this will be the last camera to render, which means if this is your eyes looking at it at Unity, the maximum or the highermost number assigned to a camera as depth will be rendering first. It's more like sorting layers for the camera. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, my main camera is having the depth 0 and my middle camera needs to be rendered behind our main camera. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to reduce the number. Okay, so -1. You guys know -1 is lesser than 0. So what happened is, this camera is rendered gone behind our main camera, which is having a depth 0. So that makes a lot of sense. Now we are going to go for our middle camera, okay, and change the size to 10 maybe. Okay, so I changed the size to 10. So now as you can see in the window here, this is the camera of our mid camera, which is huge. Can you see? It covers more area. Okay, and our main camera is already very small. Okay, so what happens is, because of this phenomena, as I explained before, the main camera will move and cover things faster than the mid camera. Okay, let's quickly check. As you can see, just don't worry about the smudge for now. Okay, as you can see, there is a huge difference between the near elements and the background element. Okay, now the last but not least, what we need to do is, these blackness here, this represents there is nothing to render, and that's why we have this kind of smudge effect when the camera is moving back and forth. So we need to find a way to fill this up. Luckily, we have our last layer covered with sky and mountains, so we need to do that yet. So last but not the least, duplicate again your middle camera, quickly rename it to far camera. Okay, so once that is done, make sure everything is fine. This is the main thing. We need this far camera to see only the elements which are at the far, which are supposed to be kept far. I think it's far PG. The only problem is, now you guys know our main camera should be the first, which is 0, it's fine. It's -1, it's fine. So the far camera should be -2 or any number lesser than -1. That's it. Okay, so far camera is up and running. So now we will go ahead and see. Now there we go, we got ourselves the parallax. Okay, and one thing when duplicating the cameras you need to be very careful is, can you see that there are a lot of warning that says there are 3 audio listeners. You guys know in Unity only 1 audio listener is allowed. Okay, this is not, you know, a game crasher, but this will definitely have an impact on your performance. So what we need to do is, we need to disable the audio listeners. In fact, I can able to remove the component. Why should I have it? The far camera, I'm just removing the component. So only the main camera now has the audio listener, and hereafter you will not get this problem because only your main camera is having audio listener. So there we go, happy days. So this is exactly how you guys create parallax effect, and I hope this video is helpful for you guys. So if you like the content of my channel, please do subscribe, and I will make sure to bring a lot of amazing stuff your way. And thank you so much for watching this video. Have a nice time guys. Bye bye.